So today we're going to be making some yarn snakes. The snakes in Wood Buffalo National Park are starting to wake up, and to celebrate, we have this fun craft for you to do at home. Now, in your bag, you'll find a few things that are important. So first, this is what you'll be using to knit. You'll have your yarn, your special red ribbon that will be your snake's tongue, and finally, 2 beads for his eyes. You'll also need to grab a pair of scissors. We'll be starting off with our yarn. So find the end of your yarn, and what we're going to do is just give yourself a little bit of a tail and then tie a simple knot, leaving a loop about the size of your finger. And give that a double knot just to be sure. And here we have our toilet paper roll. This is our special knitting tool. We're going to take our tail, put it in the tube, and then put the loop on one of the popsicle sticks. Now, we're going to make it so that there's loops on every single one of these popsicle sticks. To do that, we take the long end of our string. It's connected to our ball of yarn. And we take that, we wrap it around the back of the popsicle stick, across the tube, and to the next popsicle stick, where we'll go around. So you see that string coming along the back. Next we go across, around, string following the back, going across the tube, around, and across. So if you've done this correctly, you'll see you always have the string crossing inside the tube, and you will see a string looped around the back of every single one of your popsicle sticks. And now we've arrived back at our first green stick. So now this one already has a loop on it. And to make our first stitch, what we'll be doing is wrapping another loop around. So you see that again. Now when you look on the side, you see there's 2 loops on this one. To make a stitch, all we do is make sure that those 2 loops become just one. So we'll be taking the bottom loop right here. We pinch that, we lift it up and over, and now we just have one. To move on and do another stitch, now we're on our orange popsicle stick. We take our string, we wrap it around the back of the stick, cross it over. Now we have 2 loops on this stick. We pinch one, and we lift it over that stick, just 1 loop. And you'll just continue around the circle. You're starting off now, so it seems like there's not much going on here, but once you've done a couple rows, you're going to see that you start to get a knit tube that will eventually be just as long as our snake friend here. So when you have a snake that's looking pretty long, or if you're starting to run out of string, what we're going to do is tie this up so that it doesn't unravel. To do that, first, we're going to take this string that you have, just move it out of the way. We don't need to cut it yet. And then we see this is the stitch that has that string. You're going to go 1 popsicle stick over. For me, that's the orange one right here. And I'm going to pick up this stitch on the orange popsicle stick, and I'm going to move it 1 to the left, over to the green. And now I do my normal stitch. I pick up the stitch on the bottom and move that loop over. And now instead of 5 loops, we have only 4. So we're going to repeat that again. Now our green loop on the popsicle stick goes over 1 left, and we take our bottom loop, we pull it over, and now just 3 loops left. So we repeat. Just 2 loops. And finally just 1 loop. Now, we have 1 loop and we have our string hanging loose. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to grab our scissors and we cut. Now we can grab by this loop, pull our snake out, and all we have to do to make sure that this doesn't unravel is take the end of our string, put it through that loop, and pull it tight. To finish off our snake, we're going to be giving him eyes and a tongue. But first, we want to trim these extra strings. I'm going to take my scissors and just trim that right off. And I'll do the same thing for his tail over here. So now we're ready to attach the tongue. To do that, I'm going to take my little piece of red ribbon, and I'm just going to start by finding a loop. I've got a nice blue one right here, and I'll thread my ribbon through the loop like so, and just tie a simple knot. And now you can see our snake has a tongue. Finally, we have our 2 beads right here. And those will be his eyes. We'll take any short piece of yarn that you can cut off, and we'll just decide where we want the eyes to be. I'm going to put them right here. So I will take my little string, thread it through the snake, and then I'll take a bead and put it on each end. So now you can see we have 1 bead on each side of the snake. With these 2 ends that we have loose, we're just going to take one and thread it through the underside of the snake and then tie a knot. You can snip those extra ends. And now, when you flip your snake over, he has 2 nice little eyes. And there he is.